Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's the 17th of March, probably a Tuesday. And tonight we've got for you a glorious, I love these instruments. There's a fabulous Fender Squier from the 90s in Ritchie Blackmore Black, or if you prefer, Rory Gallagher Gallag. That doesn't really work, does it? Anyways, before I tell you more about this super duper 90s instrument, let's have a little listen to it. I think the band's all ready. Whoa, what an absolutely beautiful instrument, and let me tell you something about these now. Look, I'll say what we'll do, we'll have a very quick run through the pickups, just so that you know how to listen to it and so that you know that everything's working, the intonation is correct and all that kind of jazz. And so I do like to start with the intonation. Oh, let's see if it's in tune. these strings went on it last night. Close enough for rock and roll. So yes, new Fender branded strings on this, and you know, you've got to change your strings. You need to change your strings, not every 5 minutes, but certainly as soon as they start to lose, when your string loses that ding, it's time to change them. So intonation check, which I always like to do, which I do octave G, D even. Goodness, what I must have ordered from the shop half a pound of mixed words tonight, I think. But anyway, let's have a listen to the intonation. Superb, absolutely flawless right throughout the neck. And so we are currently on position number 1 in the bridge position. Number 2. Center. Position 4. That's a nice walk, I like that. Position 5, or the neck position. So, these guitars are, I mean, obviously 1996, and I'll just walk you around it. So obviously it's got the usual 5-position pickup selector switch, and the 1 volume and 2 tones, as per every Fender or Squier that's ever been, well, not every single one, obviously there are some exceptions, but normal, regular, standard types. So these old boys, these 96 ones, not just 96, I think that they made them from 92 to about 98, and these were made in the Yako plant in China, and I'm hoping that you can see the serial number there. It is a YN prefix. The Y signifies Yako plant, N stands for 90s, and then the first digit following the YN is the year of manufacture. So this is YN6, and then some other digits, which means that it was made in the Yako plant in 1996. Now, as you will see, this has got 22 frets, all shiny and lovely, and this guitar, I can tell you, has not been played very, very much. I mean, with old boys like this, you're bound to see the odd, you know, ding here and there, but this one has survived incredibly well, with only a couple of little flaws on it here and there. They have the capped rather than sealed tuners, and they've also got and I like this, they've got the by Fender at the headstock, where you might normally see affinity or standard or whatever else the designation may be. But the other unusual thing about these is that if you remove the scratch plates and the controls and what have you, you really do pretty much have to take the strings off, because the scratch plate, and and these are the only ones that I've seen that are like this. The scratch plate actually slots underneath the bottom of the fretboard there, and so that is a great indication of knowing what you've got is what you've got. They are obviously made of wood, and when I know that sounds a little bit jokey, but they're made of proper wood. These things weigh in, and they were made before the CITES restrictions came into force. Modern Squires these days are made of obviously helium and bubblegum, and they weigh roughly the same as a pair of rimless spectacles. These chaps weigh in, they sound great, the tone is fabulous, and the sustain is way, 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 way better than one will find on the modern instruments today. You've got usually either rosewood or Indian laurel for the fretboard, which is not allowed anymore. They use something called Power, which is not, it's just not as dense a tone wood, and so it won't produce the same kind of sounds as these old boys do. And I did a shootout with half a dozen Squires a year or so ago, and the 96 Yako plant. In fact, I even had a USA Fender Strat in the mix there, and pickup wise, the Yako plant guitar absolutely outperformed pickup wise by a mile. It was so much more powerful and a greater range of tones. So if you're not bothered about what the label says, and never ever be prejudiced about where an instrument is made, you know, because they come out how they come out, and some were better than others, and quite honestly, I would have one of these over a what they call those that are made in the Grand Reward factory, the classic. I'd have one of these over a classic Vibe any day. So there you go, powerful pickups, 22 frets, very, very, very setupable, and this is an absolute corker. If you can find yourself one of these, go and get one, because the two, I'll tell you something, the two Squire models that I would go for are either these, the 1990s Yako plant models, or the Affinity 20th anniversary models. Now, I don't know what it was that I've not seen one of those for quite a long time, but if you find a 20th anniversary model, man, they are really, really hot. They are superb, and Squires, I love them. Get yourself on board. So that's it from me for tonight for this instrument, and thank you all so much for watching. Adios amigos. Ta-ra!